Hi, this is Tony, Director of the Migration Practice at TSG, an Alfresco company. In this video, I'll provide an overview of TSG's migration services and our migration tool, OpenMigrate. A quick intro about me: I've been implementing enterprise content management systems at TSG for 15 years. In addition to leading up our migration services practice, I'm also the product manager for OpenMigrate. Also leading up our migration services team is Renee Varela, who has 5 years of experience with ECM and migrations. Just to give a quick history of TSG and our migration practice, TSG was founded back in 1996 as a content management services provider. In 2005, OpenMigrate was developed as a tool for migrating content between two different ECM systems. Following that, in 2006, TSG became one of Alfresco's first partners, and in 2008, we added connectors for Alfresco to the OpenMigrate product. Here in 2020, Alfresco acquired TSG. Overall, we have 20 plus years of experience performing migrations for our clients, with billions of documents being migrated. When thinking about migration, most people think about a one-time bulk migration from a legacy content management system like FileNet or Documentum into a new system like Alfresco. But migration isn't always a one-time project. Migration tools and services can be used for regular, ongoing ingestion from sources like network drop folders or email boxes. A migration could also entail processes for caching or publishing content out of a content management system to a website or portal. Let's look at some of the challenges that we often encounter when performing migration. Sometimes the system that we're migrating out of is old or fragile. Oftentimes, our customers have a lack of knowledge for the legacy systems that we're migrating out of as well. Oftentimes, the content is in legacy formats like single page TIFF or computer output to laser disk that's not easily viewable in modern web viewers. Most of our clients require that every document be migrated and that we have an audit trail. Oftentimes, metadata isn't only coming from the source system, but might be coming from additional sources as well. Also, many times the metadata needs to be sanitized or transformed before putting it into the new system. Migrations often require a variety of resources with different skill sets, including teams with knowledge of the legacy source systems that you're migrating from, knowledge of the target system that you're migrating to, as well as knowledge of the migration tool being used. For many customers, it makes sense to bring in professional services to assist with migration because consultants can provide required knowledge, tools, and best practices for migration. Most of the time, this experience is no longer needed after the migration is complete. Now let's have a quick look at TSG's migration methodology. It includes steps for planning the migration, configuring the migration tool, testing the migration in a pre-production environment, executing the migration in the production environment, and finally verifying the migration after it's completed. While all the steps are equally important, you can see that the timeline for a typical migration requires the most time for planning. TSG migration services utilize OpenMigrate to perform migrations. OpenMigrate was built as a multi-threaded, high-speed migration tool. It's highly configurable with interchangeable source and target connectors and can be extended to meet customer-specific requirements. The tool is built specifically for ECM migrations, taking into account requirements like content types, property mappings, folder structure, content renditions, and versions, which are common across all content management systems. Here's a list of the source and target connectors available for OpenMigrate. You can see that OpenMigrate supports migration out of a variety of legacy systems like Documentum, FileNet, CMOD, and Stellent. For custom-built legacy content management systems, OpenMigrate also has database and file system connectors to enable content and metadata extraction from almost any system. On the target side, OpenMigrate supports migration to Alfresco and a variety of other on-premise and cloud-based systems. Here's a diagram of a sample migration. In this example, we've included OpenMigrate's source connector for Documentum and the target connector for Alfresco. Some of the big advantages that OpenMigrate has over other migration tools include multi-threading capabilities to control the migration throughput in the source and target systems. OpenMigrate provides the ability to perform mapping and transformation of metadata as part of the migration, as well as the ability to pull in metadata from additional sources like CSV files or mapping tables. Migrating with OpenMigrate provides the opportunity to modify or consolidate content models, reorganize folder structures, and make adjustments to document permissions. OpenMigrate features advanced logging capabilities, providing a detailed audit trail of every object that was migrated. Finally, OpenMigrate can transform content from legacy formats like single-page TIFF into multi-page PDF. Here's a look at the OpenMigrate dashboard application that includes a migration tracker that allows the user to easily monitor the progress of a migration in real time. It also provides statistics that can help identify and address bottlenecks in the migration process. OpenMigrate also has a configuration application that allows users to update connection information, tune thread counts, configure metadata mappings, and run migrations without needing to update code or configuration files. Finally, I wanted to finish up with a few case studies of recent projects that have utilized TSG migration services. First, we have a large property and casualty insurer migrating from Stellent to Alfresco. We performed an initial migration of 350 million documents. They also use OpenMigrate for ongoing ingestion of roughly 250,000 documents per day. Next, we have a workers' compensation insurer who migrated from a homegrown database system to Alfresco. We performed an initial migration of 800 million documents with ongoing daily ingestion of 200,000 documents per day. Finally, we have a food service distributor that migrated from FileNet image services to Alfresco deployed on AWS. We migrated over 80 million documents as part of that migration and converted legacy cold and TIFF formats to PDF for easier viewing from the web. Well, that's all for this overview of our migration services offerings. Stay tuned to our blog and website for more videos that dive deeper into interesting TSG product use cases and technologies. Thanks for watching.